Hi guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to revise and turn in your final draft. As you just watched me in the last video, hopefully if you're keeping up, I just wrote my conclusion. So if I have my conclusion, then I'm done, right? Right, wrong. I have to revise, right? Nothing's perfect the first time. Pretty much any song, any piece of art, like anything you've ever looked at and appreciated has gone through a revision process. Yes, I know there are some you know, examples that break that mold, like for example, freestyling and stuff. I'm really good at freestyling, so I get it. But your essay shouldn't be freestyled, okay? So you're gonna have to edit it, and that's what I'm gonna show you how to do. But first, let's take a step back and let me show you where you're gonna turn in your essay. All right, so if you go to Classroom, you should go to classwork, and I'm going to bump this up to week 6, but I haven't done it yet. But you can go ahead and find it under week 5. Well, it'll be on week 6, probably by the time you watch this. So under week 5, I posted Purple Hibiscus essay, rough and final draft. And I said, type your rough draft on the document under your work because I formatted it correctly with a header. You'll plug in your name and a title and double spacing. And then I said, you're going to revise and it will become your final draft. Okay, so the document I'm talking about looks like this. When you open the assignment under your work, it'll say Purple Hibiscus essay. Like, for example, I can see these guys have turned theirs in. I can see Bailey has typed on his, but then I can see some people maybe were typing on another document, which is fine. This isn't due yet. But the cool thing is, if you do your final draft on that document that is already attached to Classroom, you're not going to get any response from Ms. Klein like, hey, did you forget to attach it? Because it's already there for you, right? Okay, so what that document looks like is just this: your name, Ms. Klein, our class name, insert character's name, transformation, and Purple Hibiscus. So ideally, you would just copy and paste wherever you've been working on your rough draft onto this document and make sure it's formatting right. Now, I'm going to do mine a little different just because I'm not a student in this class. I don't have one of these documents available to me, and I already started another document with my work. Most of that conversation was not important, so apologies. All right, so I already started a rough draft where I had been taking the paragraphs that I had been writing from my essay. Now, this looks like a rough draft because there are instructions and things on it. For a final draft, let's get rid of all those instructions. This is how a final draft should be formatted. It should have a header that says your name. It shouldn't literally say your name. It should say your individual name. Then it should say your teacher's name. Dr. Morgan is also in your class. Put her name as well. You can put her name first because she's a doctor. So that would be respectful. All right, the class's name. 9th grade literature and composition. And then the date it's due, right? So that's what you're supposed to put there. Now, if you're turning in an earlier, you can change the date. It's not that big of a deal, but traditionally it's the date it's due that you put there. Insert character. Now, I wrote about Amaka. You were not supposed to do that. So yours should say mamas, papas, jajas, Candiles. Mine says Amaka's. That's the title. Now, if you want to make your title more creative, you're like, oh, that's such a basic title. Mine's going to be called From Rude to... all the words I'm thinking of that rhyme with that aren't going to work. That lead. This is fine for me. If you have something cool in your brain, you have a better brain than me. So you can change is what I'm trying to say. All right. So now that I am going to make this my final draft, I should not have any of this highlighting. Okay. So where I had that paragraph highlighted, I'm going to unhighlight it. Now, the fact that this font is different from this font is not cool. So your font should be between 10 and 12, and then just pick something that's easily readable. So good examples of that are something like Arial. Typically they say Arial or Times New Roman. I don't like either of those fonts, so I always go with Georgia because I like it better. That's just, and no one's really going to get mad at you for using Georgia, probably. I don't know. So you can use Georgia if you want to be like me. Otherwise, Arial Times New Roman. Um, no, you cannot use this one. You can't use this one. You can't use something like that. You know, you should be able to figure out what you can't do. If it like looks cursive, no, thank you. This should be like a basic just font. This is a business. This is serious essay. Okay, so now it's the same font. What size should it be? Between 10 and 12, right? Making your essay size 30 isn't fooling anyone. Making it size 14 even looks funky, okay? Making it size 13 also just looks wrong. So making your font bigger is not fooling anyone. You're doing this on the computer. I can see what font you put in. So just do it in 10 or 12. All right. The other thing is that format, line spacing, this should be double spaced. Okay, so double. So just again, for you to see that, I can go to edit, select all, format, line spacing, double. So the whole thing should be double spaced. Now you don't need a bunch of like spaces between your header and your title and your paragraphs. So I shouldn't open your document and see something like this. No, that's unnecessary. Just the double spacing is enough. Okay, so here is my rough draft. Here's my intro. Here's my first body paragraph. Now, because mine's a little different, I'm the teacher, I wrote a couple of body paragraphs. A couple of body paragraph lines, but it looks like I just put one in my rough draft. Perfect. So that was body 1. There's body 2. Here's my optional body 3 about the foil. I wrote that. Here's body 4, where my character Amaka starts to change. And then body 5 must be on a different document, and I know the conclusion's on a different document. So hopefully yours isn't as confusing as mine, but at least I know where I put it. Now, when I do my final draft, it should have none of these instructions in it, but I'm going to leave this revision part in because I have the link, so I'm leaving it there for a second. All right, the rest of my writing should be here, week 5 videos. Hopefully that's where my 5th paragraph is. I might have to hunt for it. Let's see. Okay, yeah, body paragraph 5. Here we go, body 5. My last body paragraph. And like take it away completely. All right, so I'm putting it in my rough draft. Now I'm gonna have to go and format it correctly, but I'll do that in a second. And then my conclusion, which I just wrote, should be over here. All right, so I wrote 2 conclusions. I'm going to take out the one that I put like the Tiger King stuff in, because I just did that as another example, and I really don't want to mention the Tiger King folks in my essay. Like, no, thank you. Okay. I should not put that up completely because you're going to be like, where's your conclusion? And I'm going to be like, what? All right. Ew. So that came in formatted all crazy. So I got to go back and fix the formatting real fast. Like for some reason, this is all over here funky. I'll just do that. Now these are not, I know this is over here funky. Like, come on, Google, don't be that rude to me. Okay. So now I need to make sure my font is all the same again. So I'm just going to highlight the whole thing. And format, line spacing, double. Boom. Okay, so it should all be here. Great, 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 great. Now, technically, you shouldn't like have these spaces between your paragraphs. It's really not a huge deal. Like you're not going to lose points for it, but you don't need those spaces. You can just go and erase those, and it's not a big deal. Okay, so how I would personally revise my essay is I would put it all together like this. I would format it, and then I would sit down and read the whole thing. Make sure it flows, make sure it sounds good together, make sure I'm not like repeating phrases from paragraph to paragraph, I would just sit down and read it, and I might read it aloud, or if you have someone in your house that you can trust, like just ask them to read it aloud. The reason for the read aloud part is if I read it aloud, I might hear a problem. And if I hear a problem, then there's probably a grammatical error and I can go and I can look. If you're writing your essay and you're like, this sentence, like I feel like it's not right, but I can't figure it out. None of the grammar checkers are helping me. You can just email it to me, but like, what's wrong with this? And I can try to help you. All right, before the shortness of this video, because I really can't imagine anyone would sit here and watch me like think through revising this whole essay, which is, like I said, what I would literally do. I'm going to go to this really cool website that I love. Wait a second. First things first, before I even go to this website, let's do this really fun step. So lesson 6, revising, right? So no one's perfect. Everyone needs to revise their work. Guys, I tell you to revise your work every single time you turn something in. But I keep getting work that has red squiggly lines, right? So run spell check by going to the tools in the menu and clicking spelling and grammar. Yes, it will say the names are wrong, right? So ignore that. You can double check and make sure you spell the characters' names wrong, but it'll say that. But if you turn in your essay with red squiggly lines like this, you're going to lose points, okay? Like I see that all the time and I'm like, what? Are you typing on your phone? There probably is a spelling and grammar option on your phone. If type on your phone all you want, but revise on the computer. If you absolutely cannot revise on the computer, your computer's not working, you're sharing it with a bunch of people, you can't get it. I'm not sure if you can use Paperwriter on your phone. I haven't tried. Do your best to try to revise it on a computer. If you cannot get a computer to revise it, please let me know before you turn it in, because sometimes I'm just like, how does this even happen? Okay, so let's do this really fast before we even use free Paperwriter. This is easy. Tools, spelling and grammar. Like it should be there. I'm on Google Docs, like you should be. Okay, spelling and grammar check. All right, so because as I type, I have the red squiggly lines turned on, so I correct things as I go. I just have problems down here, but spelling and grammar, change red to red. I mean, yeah, I put that in there as an example. So this I spelled so badly, it doesn't even know what I was trying to say. I wanted it to say squiggly, so I wonder if I can click, what is over here? More options. Okay, it doesn't let me, but I guess I can see it right here, so I just fix it. Yeah, that should have said squiggly. Squiggly. I don't even know how you spell squiggly. Nope. Squiggly. Yeah, there we go. See, that's a hard word. So I'm going to ignore that because I changed it myself. Lines. Okay. Now there's some grammar things. It wants me to change returns to returns. But I don't want to, so I'm going to hit ignore. Okay. So now that I've done that, so easy, now I'm going to copy my whole essay. Well, I actually don't need this format, like this header, and I don't need my title. So I'm going to, underneath my title, copy my whole essay, making sure not to copy like how this lessons under here. I'm not going to copy that. Okay, so I highlighted it all, hit Control C. You can also go to edit and copy. Copied my whole essay. All right, so now it says go to paperwriter.com. Now, I love this website. It's a little annoying because it's free, so it's trying to get you to click on ads. But if you watch me do it, it's awesome. I have students that I used to teach who are now in college who are like, oh my God, Miss Klein, I still use that website. Or they'll be like, what was that website called again? It's awesome. Okay, use now free. Okay, I don't want a Grammarly ad, so what did I do wrong? Use now free. Oh, this is cool. This is a fun part for the video, for me to have an actual problem doing this thing that I'm telling you to do. So let me pause and figure out what's happening. All right, I'm back. I don't know what was happening when I turned off the filming and clicked it again. Um, it didn't happen. So maybe it's because I clicked it this time. So like I said, this website does try to trick you because it wants you to, ads are what runs it. So click in the blue thingamabobber. Okay, get started below. It says analyze your paper. So you can upload it or you can just paste your text. I'm going to paste my text because I have it right here. Okay, see how it like said. So it caught some spelling mistakes now that I see that the other document didn't even catch because that is a spelling mistake. Anyway, so go ahead and use it. All right, select the education level of this paper's author. So you guys are in ninth grade, so go ahead and select that. I'm going to select that even though I'm not in ninth grade because I wrote this at a ninth grade level. Type of paper, essay. I don't really think it matters what type you pick. Plagiarism detection, you can skip it unless like you're like, I plagiarized, but I tried to cover it up and let's see if this can catch it. I don't know. I have read and agreed to the terms of service. You haven't, but just click that. I mean, you can read it if you want. Now, when you're be careful because Grammarly, once again, wants you to do its thing, which Grammarly is great. I just don't know why it's, anyway, whatever. Get report. Let's click the blue arrow just to make sure it's not going to take us to an ad again. Get report. All right. Now, the longer your essay is, the longer it takes. So if your essay is shorter than mine, it might take a little bit less time, but it really should only take a minute or two. So how are y'all doing? I'm going to take a sip of my Kroger brand Diet Cherry Cola. It tastes pretty good. Oh, that's a lie. It doesn't taste that good, but I need a lot of caffeine to get through my day. This is my afternoon caffeine. What a fascinating concept, right? Morning caffeine, do cold brew coffee that I make myself. Afternoon caffeine, I do a Diet Cherry Cola. Here we go. All right, analysis complete. So let's go through the analysis. I'm going to show you how to do this. Okay, so spelling. Spelling corrections. Okay. This one is really wrong. So I'll go through here. So it tells me the mistakes, but then I have to like go through here and find them to make them correct. But well, we'll just do that in a second. Okay, but aura, no, that's really the type of leaves. Cambili, no, that's a name. I think I probably just meant to get her. Amaka, that's a name. That I spelled wrong. And judgmental, I think I did spell wrong. I think I spelled it the British way, which honestly isn't that big of a deal, but okay, cool. Mistakes. Grammar. Okay, it caught a couple of things that I didn't think I did well. I can go back through and like look at the green and make sure I think it's right. Okay, usage of bad phrases. Bad phrase score. Lower is better. Okay, so basically this is talking about, am I saying things that aren't necessary? Like, am I saying like a lot? Like when I talk. Okay, so I did okay. All right, cool. Good job. Now, if I didn't do okay, it would tell me. And I've done this before, and it'll give me examples of things that I'm saying over and over again that I should take out. Transitional phrases. Okay. So it says that my transitional phrases are pretty good. I could do better. Okay, so these are some that they found. And then they're like, oh, these are better transitions. So you might want to like take note, copy that into a document. Oh, I could use these better transitions. Okay. Okay. Says my sentence length is okay. Ignore this. Ignore passive voice. And the one that it said here about like premium, ignore that. You don't need that. Ignore passive voice. I mean, yeah, just ignore it. It's not a big deal. Okay, simple sentence starts. So this is something you might want to look at. It'll tell you like, okay, so I said I started a lot of sentences with Kambili and she and Amaka, so I might want to go back through and change some of that. Not a super huge deal, but if it says like, oh my gosh, you started every single sentence with this or that, it'll make your essay read better if you change some of that. Okay. Academic vocabulary. Okay. Saying I had some good words, but I could do better. Um, so that might be a thing where um, I might want to go through and just read through and be like, ooh, is that a basic word? Let me thesaurus that. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. It's like one of the highest grades I've ever gotten on Paper Reader. Weird. Okay. So it says I would get a 97A. So, I'm feeling pretty good. I should just go through and check those little things and not have to make a lot of mistakes. Now, I'm your English teacher, right? So don't feel intimidated by this. Um, I'm trying to think. I'm going to go through with this on a higher level to show you like how I do actually they will critique me, but cool. So this gives me a grade. Does that mean that you're going to get a 97 from me if you have that? I mean, not necessarily, because I don't use this to grade you, but if you followed, and this is just grading the grammar parts. So like if your essay is completely off topic, you're not talking about what you're supposed to, you're not going to get a 97. But if your essay is on topic and your grammar is getting a 97, yeah, you'll probably get a good grade from me. Um, if it gives you like a 70 and you're like, maybe Miss Klein's not as smart as this website, I'm just gonna go ahead and turn it in. Like, don't do that. Make some of the corrections. If you don't understand how to make the corrections, um, then reach out to me. Like, this is my job. If you were in class, I'd help you there one-on-one. We're not in class together, but you can still reach out to me for help. Okay, so I'm feeling pretty good about myself. Okay. So you can send these results to your teacher. And that's pretty cool because then I know like, oh, you actually tried to revise or you did this. And if you're like, oh, I got a high grade, I want Miss Klein to know. So you can do that. That's my personal Gmail. I don't know like why you would want it. So I'm whatever teacher code. You have to have a code. Oh, poo. I don't have a code. Okay. I mean, I could probably get one, but I don't want to. So the other thing you could do is y'all probably know how to take screenshots or just take your phone and be like, hey, Miss Klein, look at this. And you can put your thumb in there. So you're like, you know it's me because that's my thumb. Or you could do like a selfie with it. You could be like, so I just took a selfie with it. So if you like wanted to do all that and be extra, you can. Okay, so if you understand how to revise and how to use PaperWriter, you can go ahead and stop the video now. For those of you who are like, I want more, I'm gonna run this through with, I didn't show you how to make corrections. Let me show you how to make corrections real fast. Okay, so let's say you are making corrections in here and you can make corrections in here. Let me move this. Okay, so here's my essay. It doesn't like reunite. So did you mean like, oh yeah, I meant reunion. I can do that, but here's the part where you're gonna get confused. Now, I did not mean reunion, I meant reunite. But I just want to make sure you know how to to do this because this is the part where you get tripped up. Okay, it's not letting me edit the rest, but whatever. Okay, so let's say I go through and I make these changes and I'm like, okay, I made my changes. Well, now this document is now different than the one you did in classroom, right? So you're gonna have to go back to your rough draft and copy and paste your new document with revisions. Yeah, copy and paste your new document with revisions. It's gonna look funky because it's a different everything. So one thing I could have done is when I pasted it, whatever, I'll just show you this way. I can paste it without formatting, but I don't need to do that. All right, so I'm just gonna highlight all this and I'm gonna put it back in the font I had decided on, which was Georgia, which was 12. Now it's bold for whatever reason. I want to unbold it. It's gray. Let's make it black. And no one wants to read gray text. And like now my paragraphs are all funky. So I showed you this to make the point that I highly suggest that you look at the suggestions made in PaperWriter and then correct it on your document you've already created because as you can see, like this is a bigger pain in the butt than what the option is. And like now, when I get, I still don't like it. See, now my paper has like all these weird highlights and stuff. So like I have to get rid of that. I just go over here and I would go to on highlight. And I could select my whole document and do that. It's probably the fastest way to do it. So best practice is don't make the corrections on the paperator. Just keep this open and then you'd be like spelling, okay, red, and then come over here and find it like, oh, aura. And let's say that I had spelled that wrong, go back into your rough draft and find it. You'd be like, oh, where did I have that? Aura, and then I would fix it. That's probably the best case scenario. Okay, now for real, if you are done with me and my whole paperator thing, you can stop the video. But if you want to see what happens when I say my actual education level, then you can say it'll be like a little bonus scene at the end. Okay, if you stayed to see what it does when Miss Klein does her actual education level, here we go. I'm going to select this whole thing again, which it's probably still on my clipboard, but whatever. Edit, select all, copy it. I'm going to go to Paperator. Now, how do I get back? I'm just going to go to Paperator again. Just paperator.com. Paperator.com. Okay, use now free. I'm going to click in the green arrow, no, blue arrow. Get started below. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to select my education level, which is actually that, not ninth grade. I'm going to skip plagiarism. I've read my terms of service. And I'm going to get my report. Hey guys, waiting on my report. I could probably hit pause. Maybe I'll do that this time. Okay, my report's here. Let's see what happened. All right, it's probably going to say the same thing in spelling, grammar, and word choice, but let's see. Ooh, yikes. So now that I'm doing it as like my actual education level, it's like, oh wow, these things are not good words for your education level. So some of you guys might have gotten results more like this. So if it's like weird, happy, huge, like you can come up with better words, then I could come over here into my rough draft. And I could go Control F, and I could be like weird. And then I could be like, let me go to the thesaurus. So I could just go to thesaurus.com, or I could go to define weird. And I could be like, no, that's not the one that I, this is like a different, unusual, or like abnormal, so I could try to use a better word. So I wanted to show you this to show like, it's not like, oh, Miss Klein's like this genius and I feel bad about myself. No, I have a different education level than you. So when I do it on my actual education level, it tells me stuff. Okay, still good at transitions. So, like, feel good about that. All right. Okay. Okay, so now it's like, oh, like, meh, the start to your sentence are only so rude. So then it's like, I could fix this. Okay, sure. Getting offended. I shouldn't get offended. It's just a computer. Vocabulary words. Eek. My vocabulary words aren't that great. Now, the reason it's saying that is I don't have like a lot of technical big words that you would maybe use in a graduate level paper. And this isn't a graduate level paper. It's not a graduate level topic, but so I would want to go through and, spice up my writing. Okay, but you know what? That's not bad. So now it says I have an 88B for my education level. You know what? I'm fine with that. But if I wasn't, I would be like, okay, let me go in and let me spice up my words. Okay, so I just wanted to show you like that I'm not perfect. I don't want you to feel intimidated by me. Like I know a lot of you guys are so intimidated by me, like, oh my God, Miss Klein, she's like so perfect. And so I just wanted to like make you feel good about yourselves. All of that to say, revise your paper. You might have been like, "Oh, well, Miss Klein, we didn't see like you catching a bunch of funky stuff when you revised it, but I'd spelled teenagers wrong, which is like crazy, because I teach y'all almost every day, so that was, you know, had to correct that. Um, Also, I've been revising mine like every time in my videos where I write it sentence by sentence and then I go back over it. I've been revising it. So if you've been revising as you write, you'll find you have less revisions at the end. But if you're the kind of person who's just like, I think I just broke my video. I made my thing go away. If you're the kind of person who's like not into revising as you go, then you'll probably have a whole lot more to do. Okay, I've lost my video because I was banging on my keyboard, like, just being silly, so this is the end of the revision video.